Squid Game Season 2 arrives with the weight of enormous expectations on its shoulders. Not just as a follow-up to one of Netflix's most-watched series of all time, but as a continuation of a cultural phenomenon that transcended borders and languages. When the first season released in 2021, few could have predicted the global impact it would have. The concept was brutally simple, yet emotionally complex. Ordinary people drowning in debt are lured into a deadly competition where they must play childhood games for the chance to win a life-changing fortune. But if they lose their lives. The shocking violence, juxtaposed with the innocence of games like Red Light, Green Light, or Dalgona candy cutting made for unforgettable television, and the series quickly became more than just entertainment. It became a mirror reflecting society's obsession with wealth, the crushing weight of financial inequality, and the moral compromises people make when pushed to the edge of desperation. The first season ended on a haunting note. Gi-hun, the unlikely protagonist who managed to survive the nightmare and win the prize, is shown still broken and hollow despite his victory. His decision to dye his hair red symbolized a change, a transformation fueled by trauma and determination. Just as he was about to board a flight to America to reconnect with his daughter, he turned back, unable to ignore the sinister organization that continues to run the games in secret. That moment planted the seed for Season 2, suggesting that Gi-hun's journey was far from over. Audiences were left with burning questions. Who are the true masterminds behind the Squid Game? What is the real purpose of such a twisted spectacle? And can one man realistically take on such a powerful, shadowy network? Season 2 doesn't shy away from these questions. Instead, it dives deeper into the hidden machinery of the games, revealing new layers of corruption, recruitment strategies, and the disturbing reach of those who orchestrate the spectacle. While the first season thrived on the shock of discovery, Season 2 thrives on expanding the lore. It paints a broader picture of how the system operates, showing that the games are not isolated incidents but part of a global operation. Feeding off human suffering and voyeuristic pleasure, there are glimpses of how the games are funded, who profits from them, and why the frontman, once a player himself, remains loyal to the cause. This expansion makes the narrative feel larger in scope, giving it a sense of escalation while staying grounded in the personal struggles of the characters. One of the most compelling aspects of the new season is Gi-hun's transformation. In Season 1, he was introduced as a flawed but relatable man, a father who had lost his way, struggling with addiction, debt, and shame. His participation in the games was initially about survival, but his humanity often set him apart from other players. By Season 2, Gi-hun has grown harder, more determined, and more strategic. He is no longer just a participant, but a reluctant warrior, torn between his desire for justice and his trauma. His journey reflects the show's broader theme: how much of one's soul must be sacrificed in the pursuit of justice? And is it possible to fight monsters without becoming one yourself? The new characters add fresh energy and emotional depth to the story. Each participant is introduced with their own tragic backstory, reminding viewers that every player is more than just a number. There are young recruits trapped by modern-day scams, older participants who feel abandoned by society, and desperate parents willing to risk everything for the sake of their families. These diverse perspectives ensure that the audience never forgets the humanity behind the violence. While the games themselves are designed to strip players of individuality, the series constantly pushes back against that dehumanization by showing their inner struggles, loyalties, and betrayals. The games in Season 2 are visually striking and psychologically intense, pushing the boundaries of creativity while maintaining the sinister simplicity that made the first season so terrifying, unlike the shock factor of Red Light, Green Light in the premiere season. The new challenges play more with suspense and moral dilemmas. One particularly memorable game forces players to choose between saving themselves or sacrificing for others. turning survival into a test of ethics rather than just luck or skill. The tension builds not only from the physical danger, but also from the mental strain of making impossible decisions under pressure. This evolution keeps the format fresh while reinforcing the series' core message. In a world rigged by the powerful, even morality becomes a weapon. Cinematically, the series continues to excel. The contrast between colorful, almost cartoonish set designs and the horrific bloodshed remains a signature style. The production design in Season 2 takes this even further, creating larger, more elaborate arenas that feel both surreal and nightmarish. The use of color, especially the recurring themes of red, green, and black, reinforces the symbolism of power, control, and resistance. The soundtrack, with its unsettling blend of children's tunes and haunting orchestral music, once again adds to the disturbing dissonance between innocence and brutality. However, while the positives are undeniable, Season 2 is not without flaws. The pacing occasionally stumbles, particularly in the early episodes, where much time is spent laying groundwork for the expanded world. While necessary for long-term storytelling, these slower sections may test the patience of viewers who came expecting non-stop action. Additionally, some of the new games, while creative, lack the iconic punch of Season 1's most memorable moments. Red Light, Green Light, and the Glass Bridge became instant cultural touchstones because of their simplicity and shock value, while Season 2's challenges lean more heavily into metaphor and psychological tension, which may not resonate as instantly with audiences. Another criticism lies in the weight of expectations. Season 1 was lightning in a bottle, a rare combination of originality, shock, and cultural timing that made it explode into a worldwide sensation. Season 2, by contrast, cannot rely on the element of surprise. Audiences know the structure of the games and expect twists, which makes it harder to replicate that same jaw-dropping impact. In some ways, the sequel feels more like an expansion pack than a revelation. Still, this is less a fault of the storytelling and more a natural consequence of following up something that has already changed the landscape of television. Despite these drawbacks, Squid Game Season 2 remains a gripping watch because it delivers what fans wanted most: answers, escalation, and emotional depth. The show doesn't merely recycle the formula, but attempts to evolve it, exploring the organization behind the games while deepening the personal stakes for the characters. Gi-hun's fight against the system becomes symbolic of a larger battle against exploitation, making the series feel not only entertaining, but socially relevant. The performances also deserve praise. Lee Jung-jae once again delivers a powerful portrayal of Gi-hun, capturing both his vulnerability and his newfound resolve. Wi Ha-jun's return as the frontman adds layers to a previously enigmatic figure, blurring the line between villain and victim. The new cast members bring fresh energy, each embodying the desperation and humanity that define the series. Their stories resonate with viewers because they reflect real-world struggles, whether it be financial ruin, social neglect, or the desire for redemption. So why should you watch Squid Game Season 2? Because it continues to be more than just a survival thriller. It is a story about human nature under extreme pressure, about the cruelty of systems that exploit the vulnerable, and about the choices people make when faced with life or death situations. It challenges viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about society, while keeping them glued to the screen with suspense and emotional stakes. Even with its imperfections, the season stands as a worthy continuation of the story, one that honors the legacy of Season 1 while daring to expand the universe in bold directions. Ultimately, Squid Game Season 2 is not simply about who lives or dies, but about what survival means in a world designed to break people. It asks whether justice is possible against such overwhelming odds, and whether individuals can resist corruption when surrounded by it. These questions linger long after the final credits roll, ensuring that the series continues to spark conversation and reflection. While it may never fully recapture the shock of its predecessor, it succeeds in reminding us why Squid Game captured the world's imagination in the first place, because it is as much about us, our society, and our choices as it is about the fictional players trapped in the deadly arena.